waiting just for you.
Good morning and happy Thursday. For those of you that are new, welcome. And for those of you that are returning, welcome back to the Torque and Thrust Talk Show, episode number 36, as seen on. My name is Bill. I'll be your host today, and I'm also joined by my fellow host, Tommy D of Level Flight Simulations. Today, we have a awesome show for you guys today, talking about some of the oddest inventions. We'll be talking about a little bit later on, but some of the oddest inventions ever created. But first, we're going to start off with our weekly debrief. So, Tommy D, how did your week go this week?
My week is going very, very well this week. I got no complaints. It's been a good week. We got some stuff done. Unfortunately, Kim has gotten the it looks like she got the flu, so that that'll be my could have gone better, but so far this week's been pretty good. I'm enjoying my new hours. I'm enjoying being the numbers guy.
Really? Because last week
Um
you were not too keen on being the numbers guy.
I figured out the three websites I got to use
Oh, is it?
because
Is
everything
that
at my
it?
job is yeah, everything at my job is web based, and I figured out that I could do everything by snippets.
Oh,
So I am becoming a pro at the snipping tool.
screenshot, snippet,
How
screenshot,
about
snippet,
you? How's
screenshot,
your week going?
snippet. Mine is
That's it.
not bad. I had a really good trip this last week. Had a really good first officer who actually was a streamer and looking to start his own podcast. So he was asking me a lot of questions. We got a chance to talk a lot about our show, which hopefully he said he'd check out the show. So maybe we got a new follower. But overall, it was a good trip. We got 30 hours in Charlotte, so I went to my favorite barbecue place, which is Midtown
Nice.
Smokehouse. It is delicious, and I got to introduce my first officer who'd never been. Then we were in Las Vegas. We got into Las Vegas at around 9 a.m. on Super Bowl Sunday. I will say I cannot believe how much it costs to just reserve a table for the game. If I was just calling around to see if places, and the cheapest one was $10, which was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and that got you zip nothing. That was a cover charge in Las Vegas
Wow.
for Buffalo Wild Wings, and I might add their wings aren't worth $10. Yeah, so I'm just gonna throw that one out there. But the most expensive one was $2,700, a deposit to reserve a table for a Super Bowl watch party. But luckily, our hotel wasn't having any sort of private event, so we were just able to go down to the normal restaurant and watch the first part of the Super Bowl together before we went up back to our rooms to relax and watch the rest of it. So the Eagles beat the Chiefs. I'm a Broncos fan, but I don't like the Chiefs. So good job, Eagles. Thank you for silencing the Chief Nation for a year. We'll see how it goes next year. So that was a positive. I got my schedule for next month. I was telling Tommy I was trying to work my magic on my schedule to try to get as many days off in a row. So I have 2 weeks of vacation where I'm going on a cruise at the beginning of March, but I was able to bid for the last week of February, got it off, and then my goal was to not work until the last 4 days of March. And the reason for that is because I have to go above a certain minimum credit, and I got it. I got 32 days off straight. So I just got my yeah, and
Bravo.
normal
Bravo.
pay. Normal pay. It's you get paid for it because I have my vacation built in there. So my last trip is on February or ends on February 23rd, and then I won't be returning. My first trip back will be March 28th. So I will forget what an airplane looks like while enjoying my cruise down to the Eastern Caribbean. So I am
Well,
super.
when
But
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm
no, you're
sorry,
good.
go ahead.
I was just looking forward to that. It's I got one more. I got a trip starting tomorrow, and then a trip following that. The last trip before it is gonna suck. It has like a red eye in the middle of it. It's not the best trip, but it's gonna be worth it because I'm gonna have 32 days off after that. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
really. So what I'll do is when you confirm that you're back on land and in the Midwest portion of the country, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start texting you pictures of what the aircraft looks like
Okay.
and what your base looks like. So that way,
Keep
you
in
remember
mind.
where it is you got to go on that first day back.
Yeah, by the time I get back, Tommy's gonna know how to fly the 737 better than I remember, because I'm not gonna touch an airplane. I'm not even gonna think about airplanes for that entire week. In fact, we're going out of Miami. We're not even flying. I told Tommy this. We're doing a road trip because one, I like driving, and two, my wife hasn't been to that part of the country that we're driving through. So I figured it'd be kind of fun to do both and take my new truck. on a big road trip. We're splitting it up. It's going to be over 2 days, but getting down there and getting back. But we don't even. I'm not even going to be flying on an airplane. I won't even be thinking about it. So,
I don't
um,
blame you. I wouldn't be neither. I
yeah,
wouldn't, if that's and here's the thing too. So hopefully the first officer you work with tunes in and he hears this is me being a non-aviation uh worker, being like way opposite of the spectrum from you. If it was like you and I know each other very, very well, and it's funny because I remember that both of us moaning and groaning about going to work, and everyone's like, "Well, you're an airline pilot," but what they don't see is it's your job, it's your 9 to 5.
yeah. I love
And
doing
you
it, but
have
it
the
is my job.
same yeah, I mean, it's a cool job,
Hmm.
but nonetheless, it's a job,
The job, nonetheless. Yeah, absolutely.
you
Um,
know?
yeah, and I completely agree. And don't get me wrong, I love being an airline pilot. It is the best job in the world, in my opinion. But I only get these vacations once a year. And I usually place them about a year out because it gives me time to plan for these sort of vacations that my wife and I do. But usually by the time we get around to it, I'm starting to burn out. It's been a while because airline pilots, we work year round. We don't stop like most jobs nowadays. Um, but there's no stopping. It's week in, week out. You're working. So it's gonna be nice to have a month off. And then I think it's a couple more years, then I start getting 42 days of vacation a year, or a month, or 3 weeks. I'm gonna start using the strategy I just did to turn 4 weeks of vacation to 2 months of vacation a year. We'll see if I can do it.
Yeah, because I'm actually employing a strategy now because, as you know, my better half does not fly. After how many conversations that you have personally had with her about flying.
Yeah.
But, one of the 2 quick things. One, I've learned the benefits of driving every place
Hmm.
because we explore on the way home. That's how I got, to see the fountain and drink from the Fountain of Youth. Our local thing is now we wanna hit every beach on the East Coast,
Nice.
and we're getting close to hitting them all.
Nice.
Uh, and you see so many things that you wouldn't from a cruise altitude, right?
Yeah. Yeah, from a
And
36,000-foot view.
yeah, and I mean, it would be cool to see like the Grand Canyon. But you've seen that how many times in your career so far?
I've seen it. Well,
I
I
mean,
actually didn't start seeing it until more recently, but yeah, I have seen it a couple times from the air.
yeah, and then the other thing is my vacation because I have 2 banks. I have PTO and then I have a PTO specific. Uh,
Hmm.
that's your actual vacation time. The
Yeah,
specific one is your vacation time, and the regular PTO I can take whenever it is I want. It's auto approved. But
gotcha.
I'm gonna do first. I'm trying to accomplish the one thing that I have not done since I started working. I am going to take Christmas week off. That
Whoa,
is the end game. I am looking to take Christmas week off.
that's that's
I
a.
have never had it before.
I would say neither have I. So, if that's actually pretty good, if you're able to get it off, is it by seniority? Is that how you guys do it at your
Yeah,
company? Okay, yeah, I would say
yeah,
so. It's
and
the exact same.
I'm sitting as number 1 in
Oh,
the
not
department. So,
there. You go. Seniority has its perk, just like in with my job as well. So what could have gone better this week, Tommy D? The other half
Kim
of
could
our
have not
debrief.
gotten sick. Kim could have not gotten sick
Did
because,
she get
depending on how bad it is, I'm gonna be on the couch.
did she get sick
Um,
because of you? Because I know you had something a couple weeks ago, a
no,
couple
it was
episodes ago.
actually a couple week break. We sat and we watched the Super Bowl, which, by the way, she made the most amazing wings. I'm gonna be posting the recipe in Discord. Uh, no, I've been feeling absolutely fine for the last couple weeks, and she actually started today's Thursday. I wanna say Tuesday. But everyone where she works
Hmm.
is starting to get it, and
Okay.
I made a joke because when I'm standing in the parking lot of my warehouse,
Hmm.
I look south, I'm looking right at Kim's building. It's, like, right there. She literally works less than 3 minutes driving time from me. I was like, "Well, we had it run through where I am. I guess the wind was blowing south and blew all the
Yeah.
germs down towards you guys."
I mean, yeah, my wife actually woke up a little feeling a little under the weather today. She still went into work because she has a lot of stuff to do, but um That she usually, but she normally does. Usually she gets sick right before we go on our cruises. I don't know what it is,
Mhm.
but usually by the time, because we still got 3 weeks until the cruise, so she's got plenty of time to feel better. I think,
Plenty
yeah,
of time to heal.
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. It's probably that would probably could have gone better. That just happened today. Um, but other than that, I can't really, other than not being able to trade or get a better trip for my last trip before vacation. Overall, I've had a really good week. Like I said, solid first officer, solid trip. Um, I have last week I was off of the I'll go handle that alarm in the back. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's I don't know why the weather service is testing the weather radios on Thursday. But I will go take care of that when Tommy does uh his
Because
stuff
the
here. But
guy who's doing the testing or the woman or the person that's doing the testing is taking off on Friday.
yeah, I guess.
Giving
But
themselves a
yes,
4-day weekend.
yeah, but overall, it actually wasn't too terrible of a week this week. So I'm hoping that rolls into my vacation. But with that being said, hey Tommy D, since I have to go handle that now alarm, would you mind starting us off today with a gaming update if you're okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm good to go with that.
Okay, so take it away.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, good morning, good day, everybody. So we're gaming news today, and this is kind of like a gaming video news type thing. A little bit different, a little bit of a hybrid type thing I'm doing here. Now, normally I stick with the gaming, like what's going on, the most popular games, even though I don't play them myself. I'm more of a, the flight sim, first person shooter type of guy. Um, we I was doing the research into this, and this is literally a 2-hour old article now. I think I sent it to Bill at about 11 o'clock Eastern, and it had just released. The Lord of the Rings. But though I know this is an immensely popular game, I know it's an immensely popular series. I know I have friends who binge watch it and binge play it. So this is actually confirmed by the Hollywood Reporter, which is a big entertainment periodical, and um, Amazon MGM Studios is involved in this. Now, Prime Video adaptation of sees um, multiple directors in place for the upcoming season. They did release and confirm The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, season 3 will be on Prime Video. It is confirmed it's going to happen. They did not put out a release date yet because they still have some things going around. Apparently, behind the scenes, the directors of the show have been kind of juggled around a little bit. Um, the funny thing is, this series, this streaming video series, is going to be based on the Lord of the Rings games, the same as it was in the past, just making it a little bit more um, in depth. Shooting locations and everything out. All the entire article, which is about 2 pages, is available on IGN. That's the International Gaming News, and that's where I kind of get all my heads up about non-flight simulator gaming that is going on. So far, worldwide, 170 million viewers have uh, tuned in. This is by far, on the business aspect, Prime's membership has skyrocketed due to this series. And believe me, I have intimate knowledge of it, and they do have the web pages and stuff like that going on. So, for those of you that are Lord of the Rings fans, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Uh, I personally won't be watching it myself, but that's only because it's just not my thing. Um, and that will conclude everything on the Lord of the Rings. I am not 100% sure if Bill is back yet,
I
so
am. I'm
there
back.
he is.
Yep. Thank you for covering. Yeah. I caught the majority of that. It was just the weather radios in the master bedroom, so I had to go run and switch it off. I haven't.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was more of a fan of definitely the movies. I've tried reading the actual books by Tolkien, and it's very well written, but just a little too detaily for me, if that makes sense. Like he'd spent 6 pages describing a leaf, you
One
know.
intimate detail.
Yeah, and it just you
That's
lose
what
me.
I got.
Yeah. So I've been a fan of the movies. Haven't actually played a game yet. So maybe it's something I'll look into a little bit further on, especially if it's a long campaign type of game, because that's
Yeah, it
something.
is. It is. And the big like this is gonna be a huge bad weather binge watch type series, and I'll be honest with you, uh, the furthest I ever went to the Lord of the Rings was in my sophomore year of high school.
Mhm.
So back in the '80s, sometime when it was mandatory that every high school person has to read Lord of the Rings. That's about where it ended for me there.
Yeah, I did, and I did it as more of a just like I tried because I saw the movies. And I was like, oh, the books might be good. They just lost me. He just lost me with a lot of the way he writes.
It's
It's
very I understand the fantasy aspect of it. I understand that, especially in literary works, to paint as broad of a picture, but you don't have to make that picture 3D.
Yeah, and it's not that it's bad writing. It's just it's writing that's not for me. I should clarify that because J.R. Tolkien's one of the greatest writers of all time. So
Mhm.
not saying
He
that
is.
it's
He
not good
is.
writing, just saying that it's the writing is not necessarily what used to. But
Not to our personal taste.
there you go. Well, thanks, Tommy, for the update. Thanks for covering. I was supposed to go first, but that my freaking alarm went off, so I apologize for that. But now I am gonna take over with some aviation updates here. So kind of following along what we did last week, I'm gonna have an American Airlines 5342 update. In terms of the NTSB update on the investigation coming straight from their website. And then we're going to be talking about the Tuskegee Airmen today because it is Black History Month. So, for American 5342, I have heard rumors going around about something about the Black Hawk had, the ADSB off or something like that after a closed door meeting with the NTSB. Mind you, the NTSB hasn't even come out with a preliminary report, and sources say that comes from one Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. And I just want to point out, you always have to look at the source of information. And Senator Ted Cruz thought the solution to school shootings after the Uvalde school shooting in Texas was to remove all doors, all but one, so that way you could lock that one door in case somebody was trying to come in with a gun. So that kind of puts into perspective how brilliant Ted Cruz is. So, mind you, this is not official from NTSB. It is from someone in a party that is trying to steer blame towards a female pilot, Captain Lobach, to try to blame DEI. I want everybody to understand that. It's DEI is not what caused the crash, but that side of the aisle is trying to push that narrative. So when Ted Cruz then comes out and says, "Oh, it's the Black Hawk," it's not official. There is no NTSB indication or preliminary report out yet that even says that was a cause for the crash. So, mind you, always look at the source of information providing the information. Yeah. So American 5342, this is straight from the NTSB updates as of February 11th. Right now, there's on-scene documentation of the recovered wreckage from the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries MHI RJ Aviation Bombardier CRJ 700. We'll just call it the CRJ 7. And the Sikorsky UH 60 Black Hawk. It was completed as of February 11th. Further examination and download of components will occur as needed at NTSB laboratories or manufacturer facilities. Airplane structures and helicopter airworthiness groups completed their on scene tasks and are preparing for potential follow up investigative activities. The Helicopter Operations and Human Performance Group is continuing their fact gathering activities and completing interviews of Army AV personnel. NTSB is continuing work in its laboratories on the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder for both aircraft. That is the latest NTSB update for American 5342. They also listed that they started inviting, because what happens during these investigations is they invite parties that have interest or parties that have a stake. So for example, like the airlines, the unions, the manufacturers. So they did include a list of people who have been brought into the investigation, which includes PSA Airlines, General Electric Aerospace, Sikorsky Aviation, the FAA, the U.S. Army, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, or NATCA, Airline Pilots Association, and the Association of Flight Attendants, the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, Metropolitan Washington Airport Authority, Collins Aerospace, Transportation Safety Board of Canada, MHIRJ, which is the technical advisor to TSB Canada, and Transport Canada, which is the technical advisor also to TSB Canada. So all these people are working together to continue the investigation of American 5342. It did happen on February 9th. The NTSB said they will try to have a preliminary report out by 30 days. So we're looking around March 9th ish, somewhere around there. So we'll definitely be looking for that here in the future. Now, onto some more motivational, kind of lighter news. We're talking about the Tuskegee Airmen, and once again, I mentioned this in the past. The reason that we always do, we did it last year too, because Black History Month is important. Our government right now is currently trying to whitewash it and trying to remove stuff from military education systems, talking about Tuskegee Airmen and Black aviators, and because they paved the way for a lot of others. So today we're talking about the Tuskegee Airmen. So we're taking an exhilarating journey through history today, a journey that not only defines the spirit of courage, but also stands the testament to perseverance, resilience, and the quest for equality. Today, we're diving into the remarkable story of the Tuskegee Airmen. If you're like me, you know that we always talk about heroes, and we often think of larger than life figures who conquered battles or changed the course of history. But sometimes, remember, heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they wear flight suits. Now, let's rewind to the era of World War II, a time where the world was engulfed in conflict and division. While countries fought for freedom abroad, African Americans were battling discrimination at home. In this oppressive environment, the Tuskegee Airmen rose to the occasion, determined not to only serve their country, but to break down the racial barriers that existed within the military. The Tuskegee Airmen were the first African American military aviators in the United States Armed Forces. They trained at the Tuskegee Army Airfield in Alabama, which was specifically established for black pilots in 1941. At that time, they were facing incredible scrutiny and doubt, not just from the enemy abroad, but from their own country at home. What fascinates me about their story just isn't their flight skills, it's their unwavering commitment to prove that they could just fight as fiercely as anybody else, regardless of their skin color. They faced intense institutional racism, but instead of backing down, they leaned into their dreams and skillfully soared above the challenges. Did you know that out of the 992 pilots who graduated, only a few became leaders within their squadrons? And one that stands out above most is the Colonel Benjamin O. Davis Jr., who led the 332nd Fighter Group. He forged a path not only in the skies, but also as a symbol of hope and leadership. Now, here's something motivational to think about. The Tuskegee Airmen faced discrimination daily, yet they kept pushing forward. They knew the stakes were high, not just for them personally, but for generations to come. Their expectations were higher than themselves, and they were fighting for equality at home while serving bravely abroad. As they took to the skies, they earned a reputation of some of the best fighter pilots of the war. Their accolades didn't stop there. Their impressive record included escorting bombers through hostile airspace, and they flew thousands of successful missions. The iconic red-tailed P-51 Mustangs became symbols of freedom and equality, and whenever they showed up in the sky, they didn't just provide cover, they provided inspiration and hope. Now, let's think about how we can draw motivation from this. The Tuskegee Airmen faced insurmountable challenges. They weren't just fighting against enemy aircraft. They were challenging stereotypes, confronting racism, and dismantling a prejudiced system. What can we learn from this mindset? As young adults, we are on the brink of carving our paths in this ever evolving world, and the trials and tribulations we face in our careers and personal lives can sometimes feel overwhelming. But when we look to the Tuskegee Airmen, we witness resilience, teamwork, and a powerful narrative that tells us our backgrounds do not define our potential. So, when you're feeling discouraged or facing opposition, remember how these brave men flew through the storms, knowing they were part of something greater than themselves. And their legacy teaches us that our only limitation, is our mindset. The Tuskegee Airmen were a huge part of history, and it's really upsetting to me, and I'm pretty sure to many others, that the government, our administration, is trying to remove that history because they served a huge part striving for equality and lifting each other up. Um, and they really paved a pathway for the future of minority aviators that didn't exist back then. I'm gonna bring in Tommy on this real quick because Tommy may have a little more wisdom than what I have. Tell me what you think, Tommy. What stories have you heard of the Tuskegee Airmen?
I have actually researched them because I personally think that entire 332nd was just amazing from General Davis on down.
Mm-hmm.
just to lightly tap on General Davis. 40 years in the service, 40 years in military service to this country.
Mm-hmm.
And got out. I'm actually, I brought up his wiki. I know he retired as a general. I did not know he was a four-star general
Yeah.
in the United
Mm-hmm.
States Air Force. So he did the transition from the Army Air Corps to the actual U.S. Air Force
Of
when
course.
that
Mm-hmm.
became a thing. And it would take me a week to tell you all the missions that he has personally flown. So
Yep.
he wasn't one of those commanders who just sent his guys out.
He was
He
part of
was
the.
in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
he was part of the battle, and he served straight through Vietnam.
yep. And like I said, that's
So
it. That's what upsets me is that they're trying to remove this from history. Like it's actually been removed from the educational uh part of, I guess, the indoc portion of joining the military now
yep,
under the current administration.
yep.
So
And then
and also I'm sorry, I was gonna say Red Tails 2 is a great movie. I think it's on Netflix. I'm not sure entirely how
Prime,
historically accurate it is. Is it Prime? But it's a
Prime.
great movie. It is a great, absolutely amazing movie.
Yeah, I believe it was President, was it Eisenhower's wife gave them a big boost down there in Alabama? She went on a flight
She
with
might.
one of their top pilots.
I would have to look. I'm not
I'm not
entirely
sure how
sure.
historically accurate that was,
Yeah.
but I do know um when we went to Warner Robins Air Force Base, which
Hmm.
we didn't actually go onto the base. The aviation museum
Yeah.
is about 100 feet away from the main gates. And it's funny because I sent Bill a picture of an F-15. And as I was taking the picture to text it to him when we arrived there, two F-15s were taking off
Nice.
out of there because that's where they're retrofitted and tested down there. And they had a massive, massive display on the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah.
And I think I spent about a half hour reading everything.
Yeah. It's
Like,
it's
yeah,
history
it's
that
just
needs to be told
amazing.
and passed on because there are people out there that are trying to remove it and like I said, whitewash it from history, and this show alone is not, it's going to do our best to make sure that doesn't happen. So, next week we're going to be talking about another either person or group that has had a huge influence with the Black aviator community going forward with Black History Month. Now, it's time to talk a little bit about uh, automotive. So, automotive, we're going to take a joyride today through history and the most epic motor vehicle inventions. We're kind of sticking with the same theme because we're talking about odd inventions here at the end of the episode. So, definitely buckle up because once we hit the gas, we're time traveling back to when the world changed one revolution at a time. All right, folks, you might be thinking, what's the big deal about some wheels and an engine? Well, let me tell you, without these inventions, your daily commute would be a sneeze away from a nightmare. Imagine horseback riding to work every day. Now, let's kick off the excitement with our first wonder, which is Q. It's a French name, so I apologize in advance. It is Nicolas Joseph's Cugnot steam trolley, which was invented in 1769. Nicolas Joseph Cugnot, a French engineer, whipped up this baby, which was basically a steam engine on wheels. It was heavy as stone, literally, and only managed to make it a few hundred yards before it broke down. But listen up, it laid the groundwork for all future vehicles. So while it was a total flop, its ambition was anything but that. Now, can you imagine trying to parallel park that thing? This huge, like rock looking thing. Anyways, it looks like you were trying to back a whale into a swimming pool. But we're going to fast forward here, steering towards the late 1800s. So in 1885, we have this genius you all might know named Carl Benz, the inventor of the Benz Patent Motorwagen. This three-wheeled wonder was the first true automobile. There was no horses, no steam, just a sleek combustion engine. And the world was like, wait a second, no more animal transport? The patent Motorwagen was born out of pure love for innovation, and actually Carl Benz wanted to impress his wife. So that entire invention, the car, the automobile, was to impress his wife. And who knew that ride would lead to the revolution of the automotive industry? And can you imagine using this as an excuse for a date with his wife? Hey, babe, I just invented you a car. And then I'd like to think that she was just like, okay, I'll bring the snacks, or don't forget the snacks. Now, let's crank it up to 1914. One of the most famous cars of all time, the Ford Model T. Henry Ford didn't just make a revolutionary car, he made it accessible. Thanks to the assembly line, life was suddenly easier for everyone, and you could buy this car for less than the price of a laptop today. This car also wasn't just a vehicle, it was a lifestyle. So no more asking for rides from your buddy with the family van. You could just hit the open road without a second thought. And that's when the whole freedom thing kicked in. Everyone wanted to do whatever they wanted to do with road trips, adventures, and endless assortment of fast food drive-thrus. Talk about the American dream on wheels. But not all inventions were fast, smooth rides. So let's take the tortoise road to the 1940s. The rocket car. That's right, we're eyeing space. In the 1940s, engineers like Frank J. Zamboni brewed up the controlled jet engines for everyday shuttles. Imagine zooming through town with jets firing off your back. But let's face it, most of these were just glorified science projects designed for the junkyard. But hey, the dreams were high and the fun was limitless. So now, I know what you're thinking. What about today? Well, don't you worry. We're about ready to roll into the future. The 21st century brought EVs, hybrids, and self-driving vehicles. Talk about mind-blowing innovations. Suddenly, your car can park itself while you're scrolling through TikTok. It's like magic, but remember, with great power comes great responsibility. You don't want to be that guy who lets the car do all the work during a date and ends up showing up to the wrong restaurant. So, we have come a long way from the beginning of time in terms of cars. But from the bumpy beginnings to the steam trolley to the futuristic buzz of electric vehicles, every innovation has paved the way for independence, adventure, and let's be real, more complicated parking laws. Tommy D, what, in your opinion, is your favorite car invention? If you had to choose.
If I had to choose,
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be easy.
it's it's small, it's inconsequential, but I remember back in the day, my father's car alarm. When the car alarm was this weird round key that went into the driver's side quarter panel of the vehicle to activate the alarm.
Oh,
And uh the factory made alarms now, just pushing a button.
yeah.
I'm happy for the progression in that one.
Well, that's.
Not necessarily a new invention, but definitely one that was a lot better
I think remember my
because
parents having like a kill switch, almost like where you took it out of the. There was like a up underneath the driver's steering wheel. There was like a kill switch almost.
yep,
Um,
yep, yeah. Quite
I
a few
remember that.
cars had that. This was essentially a kill switch. It was an ignition kill switch, but it turned on and off with this ridiculous looking key that went into the front quarter panel.
Interesting. I would say I wasn't around for that. I mean, I remember having vehicles with no power windows, so I was around for that kind of. But the thing is, power windows were around, but it was back in like the was it a Cadillac or I was just
Cadillac
watching it on
started
the
it,
Grand
and
Tour. But
I believe
they
it was Cadillac and then Lincoln.
and that's what it was. It was a Lincoln that had them. So it was just a very ritzy thing to have. But my favorite thing of all time was the air conditioner. Because I could only imagine in the middle of summer driving around a car with just the windows down. That would be
Oh, no,
absolutely
thank you.
freaking miserable. So, but that is, like I said, that was going along the lines of our discussion today, talking about inventions and how they affected the history of the cars. But now we're going to be doing something a little extra today. And by extra, I mean really extra. I woke up today and I was like, I need to do this. So I apologize if it's a little too over the top. But Tommy, are you ready for Jargon in a Jiffy? So today, folks, as you can tell, the screen is a little bit different today. I went a little overboard with Jargon in a Jiffy today. But the game today that we're playing is going to be a letter-based game. So right here in the center, you'll see a spinning wheel. So that wheel's going to spin, and we're going to get a letter. Now, Tommy and I have these buzzers. I'll demonstrate here. There's the buzzer. When it lands on the letter and we see what the letter is, the first to buzz has to come up with either a video game, an aviation-related word or term, or an automobile term. So basically anything from the show we can come up with, and whoever comes up with it first will get a point, and I am keeping track of points. Ideally, we'll go through the entire alphabet. So, Tommy, are you all set? You want to test your buzzer real quick? Make sure it works. It works. All right, you ready to go, Tommy? You ready for the first letter?
Let's do it.
All right, first letter Um. sh- ec- uh.
Hmm.
Um. I don't know if that technically counts. Um. Bro.
Yeah, I got nothing for X.
Hold on. I'm trying. Gotta keep going. Okay. So, trying to think of any. Oh, is it not buzzing? There we go. I'm gonna say X-ray, like TSA X-ray, aviation. That's the only thing
All
that
right.
come up. X-ray. That's the only thing I could come up. I didn't expect it to be that hard right off the bat. Okay, so we got X
I
out
was
of the
thinking
way.
of test aircraft, but they're all, when they're a test aircraft, they
Oh.
all have the designator X on them.
X-15, Bell X-1.
Yeah.
Dang it. Okay, so that was the first one. All right, you ready for the next one? Let me reset the buzzer here. That was actually really hard. Okay, you ready, Tommy?
Yeah. Let's do better than that one.
Yeah.
Airbus.
Oh, well, no, I went first. You see how it says you
Oh, did
were
you? All
late
right.
by 695 milliseconds? That's why I love this thing. Airbus.
Oh, look at that. It tells you.
I was gonna say Airbus.
Hey, there you go. Great
Okay.
minds.
Great minds think alike. All right. Next one. YF-22. That
Have
was
at
the,
it.
that was the right? Right?
Yep.
I think that was the prototype of the F-22,
Yeah, they started using the Y, I think, back when the
the Y-wing.
F-16 was a concept plane.
Yep. Okay.
Because
I'm
the
trying-
YF-16.
I'm trying to use my brain for other than aviation stuff, but that's just what my brain goes to. Okay, let me reset all the buzzers. Boeing.
Oh. Yeah,
Is there-
I hit it, but it didn't take.
Oh, it
I
didn't
missed
take.
the button.
Okay,
No.
I can't. Is there a lag at all, or is it? It should be pretty on par.
No, it shouldn't be lagged. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi in the house.
Okay, you ready, Tommy?
Yep.
Go ahead.
The Nova. Chevy Nova.
Oh, that's a good one. Fun fact: did you know that the Chevy Nova didn't sell very well in Spanish-speaking countries? Do you know why?
Really? No, I do not.
So Nova in Spanish means no go, does not go. So it was.
all right. You know what? I wouldn't buy it then neither if I lived in Madrid.
Yeah, so it was one of those things. It was marketing. I can't remember what class I learned it in, but it was a marketing disaster for that. That's the reason it didn't sell very well. It's because Nova means no go in Spanish. So good job, Tommy's on the board with 1 to 4. Tommy's on the board. All right. Oh, my buzzer just. Hold on, I got it. There we go. I'm controlling it from my phone. There we go. Okay.
The Zephyr. Ford released a car years ago that was called the Zephyr. I'm sorry, the Zephyr.
Nice. Yep. I thought I'd be doing pretty well with with the automotive stuff. Good job, Tommy. 2 to 4. Trying to get through all the letters here.
The Edsel.
The what?
The Edsel. The Ford Edsel.
Is that a thing? Ford
Yeah, hang on, I'll
Edsel?
show it to you.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
It's
challenging.
named after Ford's kid.
Edsel?
Yeah.
Ford Edsel. I've never heard of that. Ford Edsel. You send it to me on Discord. Sorry, folks, I'm challenging this because I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna zip to you right now on Discord.
Okay. Let's see. I guarantee Tommy's right. It was before. There it is. Tommy on another point. Man, good job, Tommy. I had no idea what that is.
Thank you.
All right. Make
It
sure the buzzer
was
is-
a massive failure of an automobile on Ford's way, and he named it
Oh,
after
was
his
it?
son. It was actually his son's name.
Oh, okay. That makes I was.
Might
I
as well
wasn't
just
familiar with
drive
it.
something with brick tires.
Okay, you ready, Tommy?
No, I gotta get the other screen back up. Give me
Uh-oh.
half a second here. All right, go for it.
Okay, hold on. Let me just. Oh, okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
E2D Hawkeye or E2C Hawkeye. The electronic
Yeah, you got
surveillance,
that one.
surveillance aircraft. I need to figure out I'm trying to do the other ones like games and stuff, but the aviation stuff is what comes quickest to my mind here. All right, you ready, Tommy?
Sure.
Oh, Delta Airlines.
I was going with diesel engine.
Oh, dang, that would have been good. Or we could have done like a Dodge Ram or something like that. That would have been good.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Wait. Go ahead, Tommy.
Battlefield.
There you go. That's not a repeat. So, Battlefield, the video game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Thought it wasn't supposed to repeat. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it.
Neither do the Chiefs.
Yeah. Hey. Mitsubishi, which could also be a car manufacturer or an airplane manufacturer.
Yep.
Oh, so, okay. We'll do the first to 15. How does that sound? So we don't, because I thought it was just gonna run through the alphabet.
Yeah, because you and I will sit here all day with this.
Yep.
Because we're just overly competitive.
All right. So Tommy has 4. I have 7. So, but Tommy caught up in the past 4 rounds, so it won't be hard for him to catch up. Ready, Tommy?
Nope.
Okay, timeout. Hold on.
That's a repeat.
I don't. Huh? Okay. Try again. The P-38 Lightning.
Nice. I was thinking Pitbull from Activision back in the 80s.
Oh, that's a good one. I was also trying to think of P-51 too.
Oh, I only missed by 197 milliseconds.
Yeah,
That's a blink.
We were both like right on there. That's what I love about this buzzer. You can see it. All right. Okay. What is this thing's obsession with bees?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's almost a tradition at this point.
I know. Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
The Sierra.
Oh, you mean GMC?
The minivan. The Sierra.
Minivan. I don't think it was a minivan. Are you talking about the GMC Sierra? It's a truck.
Well, originally I was in the interest of honesty.
It's like what are we talking about here?
The Honda Sierra, I believe, was a
Honda Sierra?
Yeah, the minivan.
Okay, I trust you. What era was that? Was that pre-94? Because I wasn't alive then. That might have been it.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Sierra is one of the so you've seen the Town and Country minivans, you've seen pictures of them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Okay, so the Sierra was the precursor to that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so Tommy 5, I got 8. I'll take that one. I was thinking either way it was gonna be right because the GMC Sierra I think is a truck if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes.
Here we go. I bet it's gonna be another B.
Oh, you got to reset my buzzer.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a D, so it didn't count. Sorry.
There we go. All
there
right.
we go. Try this again. Go ahead. I didn't get it. There's no way I was gonna get that. Go ahead, Tommy.
Oh, shit.
Did you hit the buzzer or
What
not?
was the name? I can't remember. It was right. Reset my buzzer.
Okay.
I had the name of the game in my head, and it's gone now.
Man, I don't. No, I don't have anything. Unless you can still steal.
Let it go. This does not count, but
Okay.
Quaker State Motor Oil.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sports. Wrong talk show, but yeah. Okay, we'll just let that one go.
Yeah.
Dang it. I hope that doesn't come up.
Sorry
again.
for my slip also.
No, you're
everybody.
good. You're
Sorry
good. I thought that was hilarious. All right. Oh, go ahead.
Hyundai.
Dang it. Yeah, that's a good one. I was going to go with Huey. UH1 Huey. All right. Set the buzzer. Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
Ooh, the Volkswagen Golf.
Oh, one of the best hatchbacks of all time, according to Jeremy Clarkson from the Grand Tour.
Yep, very high rated vehicle.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. Okay, Tommy has 7. I have 8. I told you he was going to come back. He was quick on that, too, because my finger was, like, right on the buzzer. Go ahead.
Cadillac.
Cadillac. Dang it. I was going to say Chevy. Okay, we're tied up. It's going to get close. Hit the buzzer. Okay, we already did D, so I'll close that. I don't know. D and B, I don't know why it's...
The K car.
K car? The heck's a K
Yeah,
car?
the K car. Dodge. I believe it was a Dodge. I'll
Is
send you a
this-
picture of it. It's absolutely hysterical.
K car. I was gonna say Kia. What I was gonna say. Dang. So Tommy
Yeah,
has 9. Tommy's
This thing was
almost there.
horrible also.
Oh, was he really?
Oh my, like some of the things that my generation came up with.
Oh my
I
god.
tell you the truth, I try to push off on generations before me.
Chrysler K. That's hilarious. Okay. Yep. That's a point to Tommy. So Tommy has 9. I have 8. Tommy is now in the lead. Okay, you ready? Did you get the screen up?
Go for it.
No way. I hit the button. I hit the button. That is BS. I am the one that is hosting it. I should have a host advantage. Sorry, Tommy. Go ahead. R, go ahead.
The Renault. This is a French car that was imported. That was an epic
Oh,
fail.
Renault. Renault. Yeah, they used to be a
That's
Formula
the
One
one,
team too. They don't make good Formula
Yeah,
One
but
team
they were much
cars
better
already.
at that than they were the passenger car.
That's true. Yeah, I was actually watching the Grand Tour special the other day where they were in France and they were talking about all the weird French cars, and Renault was one of them. Oh, I hit the button, man. I was gonna say what was I gonna say? I don't know what I lost train of thought. I was just so upset that the buzzer didn't work. Okay. All right. Almost there. Tommy has 5 more. I got 7 more. Not going the way I thought it was gonna go. I had it. I think I was just no, that doesn't count. Never mind. I was gonna say G-Wagon, but that doesn't count. Go ahead, Tommy. I'll reset the if you have something.
I was thinking the Wagoneer, the Jeep Wagoneer.
Dang it. That's a good one. Tommy stole. He's got 11. I hit the button, and I was like, as soon as I hit the button, it left my brain. All right.
Otto's saying the Winnebago. That's a good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
We did 8.
Wait, we already did H. See?
Yep.
I hit the buzzer, but we already did H. Okay. We already did
We
Z.
did Z.
Yep. A I, if I'm not mistaken, means inline. So inline engine, like an I-8. Right?
Yeah, because believe it or not, to digress to the Nova, that was an I6.
I6. So do
It was
we
the
agree
first
that
inline
counts?
six.
The inline engine?
yeah.
Okay.
It does. That's legit. Inline
Man,
engine.
I'm grasping at straws here. I didn't think it was gonna go this way. Tommy
Otto.
is.
Otto is playing with us, by the way.
Oh, is he? Lando is?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Isuzu, that was a good one.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, that is a good one. Okay.
Joe
So Tommy
Isuzu.
has 11. I have 9. So I don't know if I'm gonna be coming back. We're trying to make it to 15 here. B's seriously
Again
again?
with the B.
Nissan. My truck. Nissan. All
Yeah.
right, that was a little too easy. All right, let me reset the buzzer. No way! I literally just hit it twice and didn't go through. Tommy, go ahead.
Actually, I hit mine twice too. The Volvo.
Dang! Good job, Tommy. Okay, so 12, 10. I literally hit it twice. I don't know if people can see the frustration on my face. 'Cause I was gonna say Volkswagen. All right. Get my finger ready here. Okay, we already did that one. I don't know. This is a very simple spinner, so I don't know if there's any way to change that it doesn't repeat. Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
F for the Ferrari.
Ah, Ferrari. Very nice. Okay, so Tommy's at 13. Dang it. I was going to say Fox Spat. That's the MiG. I think it's the MiG 15.
Yeah, it's a
Fox Spat.
MiG 21, I believe it is. MiG 20.
It's one of those.
I think it's a 20 series MiG, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm an idiot. A Urus. Isn't that a car? Or is that a Yaris?
I believe.
Hold on. I can't. Can you look, Tommy? Because I can't. I got so many screens up on my side. I want to say it's, or is it a Yaris? Is it Yarus or is it Urus?
The Yaris with the Y is
I goofed it.
not it.
Okay, I'll give you a chance to steal. I got one more, but I'll give you a chance to steal.
No, that's actually, I believe, a vehicle.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
All right, coming back from the grave. I got 11. Tommy
Yep,
still.
you got that one.
Oh, okay. Tommy's still up. He's 13. I got 11, so I'm slowly coming back. All right, you got your screen up, Tommy. You ready?
Yep, we're good.
Have we? We already did see though, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Carmen Sandiego,
Oh, that's a video game. Nice. I'll give that to you. 14.
which is coming out March 4th, and I will be playing that.
It is, and we talked about it 2 episodes ago.
Last week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, Tommy, you ready? Getting close. You got one
Go.
more to win. Rivian. The
Rivian.
electric cars.
I think it's pronounced Rivian.
Yeah, Rivian. There we go. Took me a second. That delay was not the phone. That was my brain delaying, delaying the inevitable. All right. We already did you. Oh wait, we already did M, didn't we?
We did
I already said. I'm just gonna remove that because I was gonna say Mitsubishi again, but that doesn't work. All right. Jeep.
yeah, I didn't even think that. My mind went to video gaming.
My brain is so simple. I try to think of video games, but I've played so many video games that I can't even think of, like Jeepers Creepers. That's a movie. I don't know if that's a video game. I'm pretty sure that's a video game. They had made a video game out of it, right? All right. Let's see. I have 13. Tommy has 14. It's getting close.
We did end multiple times.
Yeah. We did S, didn't we? Yeah, because you said Sierra.
Yeah.
Zed. We already did that one.
Mm-hmm.
Already did that one. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
Alfa Romeo.
Oh, that's a good one. I'll give it to you because it wasn't Airbus. And with that, folks, Tommy D is the winner of today's Jargon in a Jiffy. Please let me know if you guys like this format. I just woke up this morning and was like, I want to do this. But
I really enjoyed that.
I think that was actually pretty fun to do. So that was Jargon in a Jiffy for today. Game show. Tommy took the cake 15-13. So good job, Tommy D. I thought it was going to go, even with the technical difficulties, I thought it was going to go my way, but guess I'm wrong. But anyways, let's go switch back here to our less chaotic screen here. And now we get to talk about our discussion this week, which once again is another one of Tommy's great articles. We're talking about the 8 weird inventions in history that never really caught on. So Tommy and I, there's 8 of them. I'll do the odd ones. Tommy's will do the even ones. Some of these I have heard of before, and then some of them I haven't really heard of. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think and see what Tommy thinks. So the first one is the urban window baby cage. So this was invented by health worker Mrs. Robert C. Lafferty in 1913 and it was inspired by an increasing awareness of outdoor fresh air benefits for youngsters. The window baby cage was designed as a solution for apartments without a garden or outdoor space. But unsurprisingly, the very idea of putting a precious baby to play in a cage made of wire mesh and hanging outside of a window several floors above the street level was too nightmarish for most parents. Are you familiar with that one, Tommy? I've heard of that one before.
Yes, I've actually, believe it or not, back in the day in Brooklyn, they would use it in the apartment houses in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's the first thing that like shot up in my mind thinking about that was like, oh yeah, like Brooklyn, the high rises, but I could see where dangling my baby from the 122nd story. Probably not the best idea, especially if old dad put it in the wrong way.
That
So
yeah, he wasn't looking.
yeah, I'd be like, hey, where did the
Um,
kid go? Oh, I left him in the
yeah,
window. Uh oh.
right, right. Side note, can you either mod me or Lando or both on the Twitch side of things? There's an issue that needs to be corrected.
Okay.
Um, and number two, everyone, Bill's artwork for the show today. This is what we're going to be discussing: the portable hat radio. So decades before mobile wonders of Walkman, iPod, mobile phones, the idea of being able to listen to the radio on the move was inconceivable due to the bulky apparatus of all radios. And I've seen these like with their tubes and everything. Created by an inventor in Berlin in the 1930s, and they really have no confirmation on this.
Hmm.
This bizarre apparatus was essentially a straw hat with 2 large antennas sticking out of the top. Other versions of the radio made it an array of different materials, but it never caught on. And this was eventually it was cumbersome. It was very heavy to wear, and but there were issues with the radio signals being
I,
tracked in as well. And
I
it was
wonder
abandoned
why.
until the transistor radio was invented in '55.
Yeah, so that's the picture that Tommy's talking about. It's the cover art for the show. That thing I saw that and I was like tinfoil. That just immediately reminded me of tinfoil. Um, Number 3 is the mass shaving machine. So in the early 19th century, as walrus mustaches and beards declined in popularity, it became more socially acceptable for men to be clean shaven. Because such morning rituals were time consuming, a culture of stopping off at the barbers for a clean shave and a shoe shine became common. But the problem was that the barber could only serve one customer at a time. So the solution was a group shaving machine, which could seat several men in a row, where the first part of the device applied foam to their faces, then a large blade would be used to trim their facial hair. The device could, in theory, shave 12 men at once. However, its limitations meant that the machine couldn't alter its movements depending on the shape of an individual's face, leaving uneven results and, at worst, cuts and abrasions from the blade. Yikes. So I could have, as soon as I saw it, I could have told you that was going to happen. Because how, like, if someone's shaving, if it's one thing trying to shave your face, it's not going to shave my face the same way. So
No, especially I'm 5'7", you're 6 foot.
that would literally slit my throat. So
Yeah.
let's not use
Or
that.
if it was set to you, it would scalp me.
Yeah, completely shave off. I'm clean shaven. Tommy has the
Oh,
shape of my beard
man.
on his head, basically.
You
What
know,
do you got
two
next?
thumbs up for these people for trying to do
Yeah,
this, but just because you can doesn't mean you should.
exactly. So
So
what do you got next?
I have the face glove. Number 4 is the face glove. Developed in the US at the turn of the 20th century, this eerie looking mask or face glove was designed to be used by ladies of refinement to beautify and preserve youthful skin, while also removing blemishes and imperfections, resembling something from a creepy horror film. And I'm looking at the picture, and yes, it is. Designed for medicinal purposes, claimed by the inventor And I believe it's supposed to be millionaire, Madam Helene M. Rowley. The mask was originally made from flexible Indian rubber and meant to be worn overnight. The science behind it claims the mask would encourage the opening of pores through perspiration. They became popular, prompting other companies to make their own versions, but worryingly, materials such as asbestos, sulfur, lead were used, making the masks hazardous.
Wait a minute. So it was a sweat mask, right? Is
Essentially, it was a sweat mask with asbestos, lead,
lead
and
and
sulfur.
oh yeah, because results or science today it was always. But I want to know what clown back in the day, because there had to have been somebody, some lady or some guy at like the barbershop or the salon that was like, "Yo, have you tried asbestos? It's great for my skin. Look." And then it caught on to where this person's like, "My wife does this or my husband does this, so I'm going to create a mask for it." Like where did that, was that like the Ted Cruz of their time coming out saying, "Hey, this is what's happening," when it's actually not, because asbestos and lead, are you kidding me? Like that's
Right?
in the worst possible place, the triangle, right? Where if you get an infection, it could kill you. That is terrible.
Hmm.
Absolutely terrible.
And if you look at the picture, tell me that is not some Silence of the Lamb looking stuff right
I would
there.
just say, I thought I was looking at Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Can you hear the
Wow.
sheep, Clarice? Yeah, are they still
Hmm.
screaming? I love that movie. Oh, Sir Anthony Hopkins ate his liver with a
Yeah.
nice
Oh,
side of
great movie.
Chianti. Anyways, love that movie. My wife loves it too because it's a psychological thriller. But I just love the series. It's such a good series with I think Foster, is that what her name is?
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott Glenn, Jodie Foster, Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Great movie.
Oh,
Now
it
I don't
was.
know this next invention. I'm not sure what's more dangerous, is the lead asbestos face mask that women were wearing or were supposed to wear, or this next one. It's called the Dinosphere. It's looking like a creation from a vintage sci-fi film. The Dinosphere, created by Dr. J.A. Purves, was a alternative road vehicle in the 1930s. It was one giant monowheel where the driver sat along with a passenger in a cabin mounted on tracks. So the head turning machine rolled as the wheel spun and could reach a top speed of 30 miles an hour. In theory, the weight of the motor and the driver was enough to keep them parallel with the ground. To onlookers, the spectacle resembled a spinning giant donut on the street. And due to the lack of practicality, particularly in comparison with car designs at the time, as well as having no protection from the elements, the Dinosphere never caught on. I mean, obviously, like it's like driving a motor. Well, actually, it would be straight up like driving a very cumbersome motorcycle. So I'm not super surprised I didn't catch on. What about
Yeah.
your
And I
next one,
like the
Tom?
way it says in theory.
In
In
theory,
theory, it's supposed to do this, which meant
it
epic
didn't
fail.
do it.
Death
Which
Star
means they didn't
proportion.
do it. Yeah.
So, number six is the loop to loop double bicycle. In 1905, decades before BMX bicycles were circling through the air, an inventor called K. Lang came up with a bicycle he thought could do an impressive loop to loop within a circular track. Lang designed a double bicycle, which was essentially two bikes welded together with one sitting upside down above the other. I just don't like the way that sounds already.
No.
The rider
Nope.
sat encased between the two. The idea was that all four wheels could connect him with all surfaces, as the upper part would take over from the bottom wheels while riding on a flat surface. Little is known about this experiment, but the improbability of design plus its potential to injure or kill the rider was possibly the reason the invention never passed the patent stage.
Yeah,
You
because it
think?
could kill you. Yeah, because bicycles by
You think?
themselves are dangerous in themselves, and then you want one on top of me? You want me encased in this metal contraption? I don't understand. What's the
Yeah.
purpose of it, though? Was it to why? What would be the purpose of a four-wheeled,
It,
fully encased bicycle?
I don't know, but it sounds like a circus stunt type of thing to me, or like a
Ye-
carnival
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would.
type
It
of.
wasn't very practical at all.
Yeah, was it with the motorbikes now with the sphere
Yeah, maybe
where
that's what it
they?
is. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
no, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm
I
glad
just
little
don't.
is known to that.
Yeah. The next one I have was the Nico Mimi. Nico Mimi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's a novelty headgear invented in Japan in 2012. It utilizes impressive science for what many see as a frivolous gimmick. The wearer dons a set of large mechanical cat ears attached to a headband which measures brain waves and allows the ears to react to the wearer's moods at the time. So when relaxed, the ears droop. When alert and focused, they perk up and wriggle. That just made me cringe saying that. One drawback, apart from the expense, is that the Nico Mimi is also fragile and can break easily, which is why the manufacturer advises not to wear them in the car. Wear it in the car. What does it have to do with the
Which
car?
leads me to believe they're actually using it.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely would seem like that is something that that part of the country or world would definitely use, in my opinion.
Wow.
So Nico Necomimi Nico Mimi. That is insane. If someone's still actually like using that, that is absolutely insane.
Oh my Lanta.
Yeah, are they actually still using it?
Yes. And there's a
Oh,
YouTube video from 10 years ago.
that's insane. That is absolutely insane. And they said they're expensive, but like they serve no practical purpose at all.
119 excuse me, $119.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. All right, Tommy, bring us
Yeah.
home. What was the number 8?
All right. The last one, the ostrich pillow. Possibly inspired by the isolator hood inventions decades before the ostrich pillow, funded on Kickstarter in 2012, was designed to allow the wearer to escape the world, whatever their environment, be at home, traveling, or working in the office, in order to catch 40 winks or enjoy silent meditation. Resembling a fluffy hood with 3 holes, one for the head, 2 for the hands.
Wait,
Yeah.
I know that. I've seen those before on airplanes, right? It's the ones that you blow up and you
Really?
stick your head in, and then you put your hand on either side of them, and you stick your head in. Yeah, I've seen them
Oh,
on
this
airplanes.
is really? This is so being Googled.
Yeah, it's they make inflatable ones. It's actually not that. It's actually more practical than the freaking cat ears.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a fluffy hood, noisy world in order to decrease stress and increase productivity. It looks like an alien head.
Wait, so do they wear it like a sweater, or is it because the one I'm thinking of it inflates and sits on like your tray on the airplane, and you stick your head into the hole, and then it has arm, so you can like rest your arms. Let me
Just
see.
sent it to you.
Let me take a look because maybe we're thinking about two different things. Nope, nope, that's the one. That is well, actually no, it's not the one I'm thinking of, but it's similar to. Wait, what are the holes for?
I, d-
For those of
uh,
you
I,
that don't know, that's what I'm looking at. That is what we're talking about. what
yeah, I have no idea. But
what
tell
is
me it does not look like big alien eyes.
it is alien. Is that where you what are the holes for? Is that where you put your arms? Like that is the most whoever sleeps
I
like
guess if
this.
you sleep like this.
That would kill me. That is so uncomfortable. For
Yeah, I
what?
mean, I've relaxed with my hands in like this position, but I can't sleep like that.
No, I okay, so the what I'm thinking of is like it's almost like an inflatable cube that goes on the tray on the seat in front of you on an airplane, and it has a hole for your head and then two lower holes for your arms so you can basically have some place to rest because a lot of times you're too tall to just lay your head down on the actual tray. That makes sense. So it's kind of
It
similar.
does make sense.
So I can kind of see what they're going with that, but talk about claustrophobia. Oh my god, I
It
just
really. So, oh, guess what? I won't be spending $100 on.
is that $100? That thing is $100
Hundred
bucks.
bucks. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, tell
From the actual manufacturer's website.
well, you know what? The our listeners and our followers, let us know if you've ever seen one of these or if you would buy it. That's gonna be my next poll in our Discord is would you buy any of these inventions? But with that,
Yeah.
folks, that is a other episode wrapped up, episode number 36, as seen on. We do appreciate you all watching us today. We will be live again next week. It'll be next Wednesday because I'm working on Thursday, so it'll be a day earlier, but the same time, 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern time. And if you do like the show, please do us a huge favor. Go follow us on all our socials in our chat. All you have to do is type in, I believe it's exclamation point and Discord or exclamation point in our name. So Tommy and Bill. and it'll bring up our socials for you to go follow us, and definitely like the show on whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's iHeartRadio, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube. Just let us know you're enjoying the show and give us feedback. Torque in Thrust, so Torque, the letter in Thrust, TS at gmail.com, or Level Flight Simulations at gmail.com, or CaptainBillOfficial at gmail.com. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. But with that being said, on behalf of the Torque and Thrust Talk Show, I am Bill.
I am Tommy.
And we will see you all next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
In the sky, the engines roar. On the ground, the wheels explore. From the cockpit to the open road, stories of the brave unfold. Torque and thrust, feel the rush. Every turn and every gust. With Captain Bill and Tommy too. Adventures waiting just for you. From the highways to the flight path, through the storms we'll share a laugh. Tales of courage, dreams in flight, guiding you through day and night. Torque and thrust, feel the rush. Every turn and every gust. With Captain Bill and Tommy too. Adventures waiting just for you. In the heart of every journey, there's a story to be told. With the wind beneath our wings, we'll watch the world unfold. Torque and thrust, feel the rush. Every turn and every gust. With Captain Bill and Tommy too. Adventures waiting just for you. So tune in, take a ride. Let's explore the world wide. With torque and thrust, we'll go far. Chasing dreams